Hare Krishna, Mataji, we can't hear. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jan Vallava Girvaradari
Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Brajjana Ranjana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallava Girvaradari
Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Brajjana Ranjana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare, Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama,
Rama.
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Nitai Gaura Haribo,
Haribo,
Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gaura Haribo,
Nittai Gaura
Hare
Haribo, Haribo,
Haribo,
Haribo,
Haribo,
Gaura Haribo.
Jai Jaya Prabhupada,
Jai
Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Jaya Prabhupada,
Jaya
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 Prabhupada,
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 Jaya
Prabhupada,
Jaya
Prabhupada,
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 Jai Jaya Gurudev,
Gurudev.
Gurudev, Gurudev, Jai Jaya Gurudev,
Jaya
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 Jaya Gurudev,
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 Gurudev, Jaya
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 Gurudev.
Gurudev.
Go to Premanande. Hari
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 Bol.
Hari
Hari Bol.
Bol.
Oh glories to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai.
Ki Jai,
Jai,
Oh glories to Srila Prabhupada ki
Ki
jai.
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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam
Narayanam
Namaskritya.
Namaskritya.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram
Naram
Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam
Devi
Devim Saraswati Vyasam.
Saraswati
Tato Jayamudiraye
Tato
Tato
Jayam Udiraye.
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nashtapraya Bhadreshu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam
Nityam Bhagavata
Bhagavate
Sevaya
Sevaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhagavati
Bhagavati
Uttama Shloke
Shloke.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
Bhaktir
Bhakti
Bhavati
Bhakti
Naistiki.
Naistaki.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So today we are reading from, where are we? Canto 5, which is called The Creative Impetus. So this is all very heavily involved with the creation story. And chapter 1, the activities of Maharaj Priyavrata. So we'll chant today's sloka. How am I going to do this? I'll try and just chant and let's see how we go. Sorry, there's a plane going overhead. I'll just wait for it to pass. It's very loud, sorry. Atta chadurhitaram prajapatirvisvakaramana.
Atha Jatu
Ati
Pitaram Prajapate Vishwakarmana
Vishwakarmana.
Upayame parishmatim namatasyam uhavava.
Upayame varismatim
Nam tasyam
tasya
bhava.
Atma janatma samanasi laguna karma.
Atmajanatma samanasila gunakarma.
Rupa virotarandasa bhavayambuva kanyam.
Rupa
Rupa virodarandasya bhavayam bhuvakanyam.
Jaya Vyasim Yujasvatim Nama.
Jaya Vyasimur Jaswatim
Jaswatim
Nama.
Atha Chadurit Taram Prajapatir Visharkamana.
Athachaduhitaram prajapatirvishwakarmana.
Upayim Parismatim Namatasyam Uhavava.
Upayeme
Varishmatim
varishmatim
Namatasyamu
namatasyamu bhava.
Atmajan Atma Samanasila Guna Karma Rupa.
Atmajanatma
Atmajanatma
samana shila
Samanasila
guna
Guna
karma
Karma
rupa.
Vid Yodaranda Sabhavayam Bhuvakanyam.
Viryo darandasya
Rupa
bhavayam bhuvakanyam.
Janya Vyasim Urjasvatim Nama.
Jaya Nama.
Atha Chaduritaram Prajapatir Vishvarkamana.
Athachaduhitaram prajapatirvishwakarmana.
Upayame Parismatim Namatasyam Uhavava.
Upayeme varhishmatim namatasyamu
Upayame
Atma Janatma Samanasila Guna Karma Rupa.
Atmajanatma
Atmajanatma
samanasila
Samanasila
gunakarma
Karma
rupa.
Viryodaranda Sabhavayam Bhuva Kanyam.
Nirodharanandasya
Dasya
bhavayam bhuvakanyam.
Jaya Vyasim Urjasvatim Nama.
Urjatim nama.
Atha,
Atha
thereafter.
thereafter.
Cha,
Cha
also.
also.
Duhir Taram,
Duhitaram
the daughter.
the daughter.
Prajapite,
Prajapate
of one of the Prajapatis entrusted with increasing population.
of one of the Prajapatis entrusted with increasing population.
Vishvakaramanaha,
Vishwakarmanaha
named Vishvakarma.
named Vishwakarma.
Upayame,
Upayeme
married.
married.
Barhismatim,
Barhismatim
Barhismati,
Barhismati
Nama,
Nama
named.
named.
Tasyam,
Tasyam
in her.
in her.
Uha,
Uha
as it is celebrated.
as it is celebrated.
Vava,
Vava
wonderful.
wonderful.
Atmajan,
Atmajan
sons.
sons.
Atma Samana,
Atma Saman
exactly equal to him.
exactly equal to him.
Sila,
Sila,
character,
character,
guna,
guna,
quality,
quality,
karma,
karma,
activities,
activities,
rupa,
rupa,
beauty,
beauty,
vidya,
virya,
prowess,
prowess,
udaran,
udaran,
whose magnanimity,
whose magnanimity,
dasa,
dasha,
10,
10,
bhavayam, babhava,
bhavayam,
he begot,
he begot,
kanyam,
kanyam,
daughter,
daughter,
cha,
cha,
also,
also,
yaviyasim,
Yaviyasim,
the youngest of all,
the youngest of all,
urjasvatim,
Ujasvati,
urjasvati,
Ujasvati,
nama,
Nam,
named.
named.
Translation. Please repeat. Thereafter Maharaj Priyavrata married Parismati.
Thereafter, Maharaj Priyavrat married Parishmati,
The daughter of the Prajapati named Vishvakarma.
the daughter of the Prajapati named Vishvakarma.
In her he begot 10 sons,
In her, he begot 10 sons,
equal to him in beauty,
equal to him in beauty,
character, magnanimity, and other qualities.
character, magnanimity, and other qualities.
He also begot a daughter,
He also begot a daughter,
the youngest of all,
the youngest of all,
named Urjasvati.
named Ujasvati.
Thank you. Purple, please hear. Maharaj Priyavrata not only carried out the order of Lord Brahma by accepting the duties of government, but also married Parishmati, the daughter of Vishvakarma, one of the Prajapatis. And since Maharaj Priyavrata was fully trained in transcendental knowledge, he could have returned home and conducted the business of government as a brahmachari. Instead, however, when he returned to household life, he accepted a wife also. The principle is that when one becomes a grihasta, he must live perfectly in that order, which means he must live peacefully with a wife and children. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's first wife died, his mother requested him to marry for a second time. He was 20 years old and was going to take sannyas at the age of 24. Yet, by the request of his mother, he married. As long as I am in household life, he told his mother, I must have a wife, for household life does not mean staying in a house. Real household life means living in a house with a wife. 3 words in this verse are very significant. U, ha, va, va. These words are used to express wonder. Priyavrata Maharaj had taken a vow of renunciation, but accepting a wife and begetting children have nothing to do with the path of renunciation. These are activities on the path of enjoyment. It was a source of great wonder, therefore, that Priyavrata Maharaj, who had followed the path of renunciation, had now accepted the path of enjoyment. Sometimes we are criticized because although I am a sannyasi, I have taken part in the marriage ceremonies of my disciples. It must be explained, however, that since we have started a Krishna conscious society, and since a human society must have ideal marriages, to correctly establish an ideal society, we must take part in marrying some of its members, although we have taken to the path of renunciation. This may be astonishing to persons who are not very interested in establishing Daiva Varnashram, the transcendental system of 4 social orders and 4 spiritual orders. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, however, wanted to re-establish Daiva Varnashram. In Daiva Varnashram, there cannot be acknowledgement of social status according to birthright. In Daiva Varnashram, there cannot be acknowledgement of social status according to birthright, because in Bhagavad Gita it is said that the determining considerations are guna and karma. In Bhagavad Gita it said that the determining considerations are guna and karma, one's qualities and work. It is this Daiva Varnashrama that should be established all over the world to continue a perfect society for Krishna consciousness. This may be astonishing to foolish critics, but it is one of the functions of a Krishna conscious society. Om Gyan Timirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshul Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivya Sesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desitarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So welcome everyone. Welcome to class. Let me pull up some notes. Thank you all for your attendance today. It's always a real blessing to glorify Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. And before we begin, please may I ask for your blessings and also for your forgiveness if I make any mistakes or offenses. So that translation again, let us read. Thereafter, Maharaj Priyavrata married Bharhismati, the daughter of the Prajapati named Vishvakarma. In her, he begot 10 sons, equal to him in beauty, character, magnanimity, and other qualities. He also begot a daughter, the youngest of all, named Urjasvati. So to paraphrase here, allow me to let my thoughts flow, because when I use my own words, I can form some ideas. So to paraphrase here, through his marriage to Bharhismati, the daughter of Vishvakarma, King Priyavrata begat 10 strong sons, who all matched him in their good qualities and characteristics. And his youngest child was a beautiful daughter named Urjasvati. So like this, King Priyavrata followed Lord Brahma's instructions and ruled as a Rajarishi, a pious king, and governed the kingdom nicely. Of course, he was fully trained in transcendental knowledge, and he could have continued his life as a brahmachari and returned home back to Godhead, just like that. But instead, he returned to householder life and took a loving and dutiful wife. And from that position, he imbibed the principle that if one enters into the Grihastha ashram, then just live perfectly in that order. Meaning, be at peace with your spouse and your children and use everything within your beautiful family life to serve Krishna. Lord Chaitanya's first wife passed away, so his kind mother asked that he remarry. He was only 20 years old and was going to take sannyas, the renounced order of life, by age 24. So he agreed with his mother and he married again, explaining that as long as I am in household life, I must have a wife. And he also said that real household life means living in a house with a wife. And this sloka also refers to uha vava, which means wonder or amazement, at how King Priyavrata could be a renunciate and then also get married and have kids. Becoming responsible for a whole family is not usually the path of renunciation. Family life seems far more enjoyable and is more in line with a life of enjoyment. So it was amazing that King Priyavrata could manage his life like this so nicely. Usually, a sannyas from the renounced order of life does not get married. His many disciples may marry, but not the sannyas. However, because we have ISKCON now and have started this Krishna conscious society, we must exemplify and lead by example with ideal marriages. We shall establish an ideal society and allow devotees to marry devotees, thereby perpetuating ideal marriages within an ideal society. And this is what Srila Prabhupada desired for his disciples and for all of us, to re-establish Daiva Vanashram within a Krishna conscious society. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also wanted to re-establish Daiva Vanashram. Daiva Vanashram means no need for a particular social status to be determined by your birth, meaning we don't have to wait to be born into a Brahmana family to become a so-called Brahmana. Srila Prabhupada said we use our guna and karma, or our qualities, our attributes, our characteristics, and we also use our work or our actions and our occupational duty to engage in bhakti yoga or loving devotional service. And that's how we make our spiritual progress. That is how we follow our Jagat Guru, Srila Prabhupada, and our exalted Guru Parampara back home to Godhead. So if we think about this verse a little bit more, a little deeper in meditation, if you like, we can generate some questions. And a couple of questions that came up for me were, what is an ideal grihastha life in a Vanashram society? What does that look like? And then how can this be done in the spirit of renunciation? So these are a few of the questions, and hopefully we'll address some answers for today's class. Clearly, there's a lot more to speak on here, but with my limited intelligence, I thought to just focus on these few topics. What is meant by an ideal grihastha life within Vanashram? And then how is it achieved with a spirit of renunciation? And of course, this is the concept of yukta vairagya, using everything in Krishna's service, offering it all to Krishna. This is the meaning of yukta vairagya, which is the second point we'll try and cover today. So in thinking about this ideal householder in Vanashram, I turn to our own acharyas and our own Guru Parampara to try and give relevant examples of this. Yeah. So I actually looked a little closer at Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's example as one of our most highly esteemed acharyas within our own Guru Parampara. And then for me, he represents this idea of an ideal householder within Vanashram. And then we'll learn more about this yukta vairagya, which seems very important for our lives as devotees, and especially if we belong to the grihastha ashram. So an excerpt from an article in ISKCON Desire Tree on Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I took a little bit of that and I'll read it because I just give a bit of background and then we'll talk a little bit about some of his greatness. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was born in 1938 and he lived from 1838 to 1914. And he's a prominent preceptor, acharya in our succession of spiritual masters and disciples, coming from Lord Krishna himself. He was a pioneering spiritual leader, a householder, a magistrate, working in colonial India under the British rule. He was a prolific preacher, writer, and poet. He wrote volumes of books, reintroducing the pure teachings of Lord Chaitanya at a time when those teachings had practically become lost. He composed hundreds of devotional songs glorifying Krishna to uplift the consciousness of the suffering people of this world. He corresponded with philosophers, theologians, leaders, scholars, and professors of his time and sent books out, including the life and precepts of Lord Chaitanya, to university libraries in foreign countries, planting the seeds for a worldwide movement of Krishna consciousness. Bhaktivinoda Thakur discovered and excavated the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya, along with his devoted wife, Bhagavati Devi. He raised 10 children, including the illustrious Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who would become a great spiritual leader himself in his own time, and the spiritual master of ISKCON's founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Above all, Bhaktivinoda Thakur taught devotion to Krishna by his personal example. His life story demonstrates a tremendous amount of courage, character, and perseverance in the face of many difficulties, and gives hope to those of us who may be wondering just how to find the time to serve Lord Krishna, his holy names, and his devotees in our ever so busy lives. In many ways, aspiring devotees of Krishna today owe a significant debt to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur for charting the course and laying the foundation for the modern day Krishna conscious movement. Once, as he looked out from his window across the rivers towards the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had a vision that people from all nations would soon come together in their harmony through the blissful chanting of the holy names of Krishna, Sankirtan. His grand disciple, Srila Prabhupada, who humbly and fearlessly spread Krishna consciousness to the far corners of the world, thought it significant that he himself, Srila Prabhupada, was born in 1896, the year that Thakura sent copies of the life and precepts of Lord Chaitanya to universities across the oceans. The chronology of the life of Bhaktivinoda Thakur is in the article that I've just read from, but instead now I'll move our attention back to Sastra. And from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam within Canto 5, we can also learn about Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who was a responsible officer and householder, yet his service to the cause of expanding the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is unique, and in my own words, quite amazing actually. From Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 5.1.17 within the purport. Herein, Lord Brahma indicates that instead of going to the forest with uncontrolled senses, it is better and more secure to engage the senses in the service of the Lord. Even household life can do no harm to a self-controlled person acting in this way. It cannot force him into material bondage. Srila Rupa Goswami has further enunciated this position. Iha yasya hare dasye karmana manasagira nikhilas api avastaso jivan mukta sayujate. Regardless of one's circumstances, if one fully engages his activities and mind and words in the devotional service of the Lord, he should be understood to be a liberated person Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a responsible officer and a householder, yet his service to the cause of expanding the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is unique. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur says, Durdan Tindriya Kala Sarpa Patali Prokahata Dam Strayate. The sense organs are certainly our greatest enemies, and they are therefore compared to venomous serpents. However, if a venomous serpent is bereft of poison fangs, it is no longer fearful. Similarly, if the senses are engaged in the service of the Lord, there is no need to fear their activities. The devotees of the Krishna consciousness movement move within this material world, but because their senses are fully engaged in the service of the Lord, they are always aloof from the material world. They are always living in a transcendental position. From Bhagavad Gita, as it is, and within lectures, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was a grihasta, he was practical, and was experienced. Within a lecture given on Bhagavad Gita 4.27 in Bombay in 1974, Srila Prabhupada says, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Krishna baro doya moy, kuri bare jiva joy, swa prasad ana dilo bai. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was a grihasta, practical. He experienced. He said, Sarira abhijja jal. This body, material body, is a network of ignorance. Sarira abhijja jal. Just like a network, if you are put into a net and bound up and thrown into the ocean, then what is your condition of life? Just imagine. Similarly, we pure souls, we have been put into this network of material body, and we have been thrown into the ocean of nascience. This is our position. Struggle for existence. How to get out of this network? How to get out of this ocean? This is Mana Sastani Driyani Prakti Stani Kashati. Bhagavad Gita 15.7. This is our position. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam lectures, just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was a family man and magistrate, still he executed devotional service so nicely. Again, another lecture on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 6.6 to text 8. And Srila Prabhupada gave this lecture in New York in 1971. Maya Sukhaya Param Udvahataha. They have created unnecessary burden on their shoulder, simply for temporary happiness. Temporary happiness. Therefore, in the Vedic civilization, a sannyas, renounced order of life, is recommended for prosecuting spiritual life. Absolutely, without any anxiety. If one can execute Krishna consciousness in family life, that's very good. Just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was a family man, a magistrate. Still, he executed devotional service so nicely. Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, they were all grihastas, householders, but they trained themselves in such a nice way that even householder, as a householder, there was no interruption. Just like Prahlad Maharaj said that I have learned the art, how to remain always in Krishna consciousness. What is that? Tvad Vidya Gayana Mahamrita. Simply glorifying to glorify the victorious activities and pastimes of the Lord. And from festival lectures, these are the quotes. Just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was grihasta, magistrate, government servant, But he has worked so much for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in writing books. Not only writing books, but also begetting a child like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, my spiritual master, said Srila Prabhupada. And from a Sri Vyasa Puja back in 1973 in London, more quotes. And then as he becomes practice, he becomes a Parivrajak Acharya. He goes from place to place, village to village, preaching the message of Krishna, as our Sriman Ravitanandana Maharaj is doing. He has now a very nice bus. All others are also doing. Grihastas are also doing, because our only business is Krishna. It doesn't matter whether I'm a grihasta, vanaprastha, sannyas, it doesn't matter. So when he preaches all over the world, that is called Parivrajacharya. And when he is experienced, he executes the work by his assistants. That is called Paramahamsa. So grihastas are supposed to be Paramahamsa, just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was grihasta, magistrate, government servant, but he has worked so much for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in writing books. Not only books, but also begetting a child like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, my spiritual master. So that is grihasta. They should produce children like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. Because we want big, stalwart men to preach this Krishna consciousness movement. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is an ideal guru. He was not a sannyasi. He was a grihasta, a householder, living with family, wife, children. Still, he was a guru. And His Divine Grace Srila Saksit Ananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Appearance Day lecture, Srila Prabhupada spoke in September 1971 in London. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is an ideal guru. He was not a sannyasi, he was a grihasta, householder, living with family, wife, children. Still, he was guru. So anyone can become guru. Not that a sannyasi can become guru. A householder also can become guru, provided he knows the science. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was talking with Ramananda Roy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a sannyas, very highly born in a Brahmana family, a very learned scholar. So he was talking with Ramananda Roy, a grihasta and governor of Madras. And he was questioning, and Ramananda Roy was answering. That means he was taking the part of guru, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking the part of a disciple. So he was hesitating, Ramananda Roy. He thought himself that I'm a grihasta. I'm not even a brahmana. Besides that, I'm dealing with material affairs. I'm a governor, and there's politics. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a sannyasi, born of a high-class brahmana family. So it does not look well that I shall teach him. So he was hesitating. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Oh, why are you hesitating?" He said, "Kiba vipra, kiba sudra, nyasi kinenai. Ye Krishna tattva veta, say guru hai." Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya-lila 8.128. He said, Lord Chaitanya, don't hesitate. Either one may become a brahmana or one may become a sudra. Kiba vipra, kiba sudra. Vipra means brahmana and sudra. Sudra is the fourth grade of human. Brahmana is the first grade. So kiba vipra, kiba sudra. He must be a first grade human being or the lowest grade human being, or he may become a sannyasi or a grihasta. It does not matter. Anyone who knows the science of Krishna can become a guru. This is the verdict. So in summary here, and from all of these readings that I just presented, it culminates in this idea that whatever your position in life, you simply serve Krishna from that position. End of story, full stop. So, whether you are a grihasta or, living in family life, a householder, your situation is actually perfect to serve Krishna. And that's what we've read from. The example of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was a busy man, busy and learned, and a magistrate. I was just at a function recently in a church filled with magistrates in full regalia. And they were very important looking people. So we can only imagine how important Bhaktivinoda Thakur was in a busy life, married man, family, children, wife. But the service was phenomenal. So he didn't need to wait for another stage in life to become sannyas. No, he served perfectly from within his position as a householder. So therefore, for me, he represents an ideal householder, which is why I used his example. And now moving to that second point, this yukta vairagya, I found some sastra. So let me read. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 3.31.42. Tamadmano vijyaniyat pati apatya grihatmakam daivo pasaditam mirtyum mirgayor gayanam yata. I might read this in full. Tam, the Lord's Maya. Tam, the Lord's Maya. Atmana, of herself. Vijaniyat, she should know. Pati, husband. Apatya, children. Griha, house. Atmakam, consisting of. Daiva, by the authority of the Lord. Upasaditam, brought about. Mirtyam, death. Mirgayo, of the hunter. Gayanam, the singing. Yata, as. Translation, a woman, therefore, should consider her husband, her house, and her children to be the arrangement of the external energy of the Lord for her death. Let me read this again. A woman, therefore, should consider her husband, her house, and her children to be the arrangement of the external energy of the Lord for her death, just as the sweet singing of the hunter is death for the deer. Purport. In these instructions of Lord Kapila Dev, it is explained that not only is woman the gateway to hell for man, but man is also the gateway to hell for woman. It is a question of attachment. A man becomes attached to a woman because of her service, her beauty, and many other assets. And similarly, a woman becomes attracted to a man for his giving her a nice place to live, ornaments, dress, and children. It is a question of attachment for one another. As long as either is attached to the other for such material enjoyment, the woman is dangerous for the man. and the man is also dangerous for the woman. But if the attachment is transferred to Krishna, both of them become Krishna conscious. And then marriage is very nice. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore recommends Anasaktasya visayan yataham upayunjataha nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyam yuchate. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.255. Man and woman should live together as householders in relationship with Krishna, only for the purpose of discharging duties in the service of Krishna. Engage the children, engage the wife, and engage the husband, all in Krishna conscious duties. And then all these bodily or material attachments will disappear. Since the medium is Krishna, the consciousness is pure, and there is no possibility of degradation in any time, at any time. So there it is. This is this idea of yukta vairagya, to use absolutely everything within the grihastha ashram, within our personal family life, absolutely everything, for Krishna's service in an attempt to please him. That's how it works. So within my own context, I can think about my personal family. I would ideally offer my husband and my children in service to Lord Sri Krishna. As we all know, I joined Krishna consciousness quite late in life and raised my children as Catholics. And my husband is a Christian and not very strongly interested in Krishna consciousness. However, he does support me and he does support my guru. And of course, you know, he's very appreciative of interactions with all devotees. But what I can do from this ashram right here, right now, is offer my everything, me, my life, my words, my actions, my service, everything that I can do, that I have the ability to offer. So within the Grihastha ashram, no matter what your position is, no matter what your family may look like, there is an offering in there that can be given fully and freely to the Lord. For me, it's not ideal. I'm not offering my entire family. I can just give me. But I can do it to the best of my ability, my offering of myself. And we'll move on. And from Bhagavad Gita, as it is within Bhagavad Gita chapters 7 to 12, Sri Rupa Goswami advises one should be unattached in material affairs and do everything in Krishna consciousness. By this system, which is called Yukta Vairagya, one attains perfection. In Bhagavad Gita 8.27, within the purport, a devotee of the Supreme Lord should not worry whether he will depart by arrangement or by accident. The devotee should be firmly established in Krishna consciousness and chant Hare Krishna. He should know that concern over either of these two paths is troublesome. The best way to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness is to be always dovetailed in his service, and this will make one's path to the spiritual kingdom safe, certain, and direct. The word yoga yukta is especially significant in this verse. One who is firm in yoga is constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness in all his activities. Srila Rupa Goswami advises, Anasaktasya visayan yatarham upayunjataha. One should be unattached in material affairs and do everything in Krishna consciousness. By this system, which is called Yukta Vairagya, one attains perfection. Therefore, the devotee is not disturbed by these descriptions because he knows that his passage to the supreme abode is guaranteed by devotional service. Jai. As long as we are in this material world, we have to act. We cannot cease acting. Therefore, if actions are performed and the fruits are given to Krishna, then that is called yukta vairagya. Actually, situated in renunciation, such activities clear the mirror of the mind, and as the actor gradually makes progress in spiritual realization, he becomes completely surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita 9.28, within the translation and purport, in this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results, with your mind fixed on me. In this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. One who acts in Krishna consciousness under superior direction, is called Yukta Vairagya. The technical term is Yukta Vairagya. This is further explained by Rupa Goswami as follows. Anasaktasya visyayan yatharham upayunjata nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyam yuchyate. Again, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.3. Haribol. Rupa Goswami says that as long as we are in this material world, we have to act. We cannot cease acting. Therefore, if actions are performed and the fruits are given to Krishna, then that is called yukta vairagya, actually situated in renunciation. Such activities clear the mind, the mirror of the mind. Oh, I've read this, sorry. Therefore, at the end, he becomes, completely. Therefore, at the end, he becomes liberated. And this liberation is also specified. By this liberation, he does not become one with the Brahmajyoti, but rather enters into the planet of the Supreme Lord. It is clearly mentioned here, Mam upasya si. He comes to me, back to Godhead. There are 5 different stages of liberation, and here it is specified that the devotee who has always lived his lifetime here, under the direction of the Supreme Lord, as stated, has evolved to the point where he can, after quitting his body, go back to Godhead and engage directly in the association of the Supreme Lord. That's nice. So in summary here, we've used all of these various sastra quotes and even some slokas in full to try and explain and expand upon this idea of an ideal householder. And I personally use the example of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but devotees, we can all think of someone who represents for us this idea of a very good grihastha, one of the best. And so yes, for me, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is one such brilliant example. He was a magistrate, a grihastha, wrote so many books. Oh, unbelievable, actually. And wrote so many books covering so many transcendental topics. He was fully engaged in his wife and children, family life. But really, and of course, during that engagement, he had a beautiful son named Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who continued on this Vaishnava lineage and became our Jagat Guru's guru. And as I say, he was a really super duper busy and learned and important, principled government servant, and yet phenomenal bhakti, unbelievable service he could perform from that position as a grihasta. And the other point made today was that of yukta vairagya and how we can use everything, absolutely everything. Your personal talents, your skills, your intelligence, your perspective, the way you view the world, if it's presented nicely and is in keeping with Krishna's consciousness, for that, give everything. Give your sense of humor, hey? So this is what we can all encapsulated in this idea of grihasta can give everything. So yes, we give our money, and as Kadambini Mataji very nicely said a few classes ago, if you have a big home, open it up. Have what is it called? Bhakti Vriksha. But greet people, especially these senior devotees. Oh, we've got so many senior devotees, been around for ages. Many of them are running successful, glorious Bhakti Vriksha programs. Because why? Because they're using everything. Their home, their assets, their money, their time, their prasadam, everything for Krishna. Oh, that's nice. That's real yukta vairagya, that stuff. So, in conclusion, yes, we spoke on Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and yes, we spoke on yukta vairagya. And the reason for that is we can actually be renounced and also use our whole lives, our family life, our work, etc., everything for the service of Guru. And we can use our guna and karma, all of our good qualities, all of our work and occupational duties for Krishna's pleasure. This is real Varnashrama, to please the Lord from any position with everything we have. Thank you. I think I covered what I wanted to cover. As I say, there was more in there, plenty more, but that's what I felt able to speak on. So I'll end there. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your attendance and listening so nicely. I really appreciate that. Hare Krishna. If there are any questions or comments, please open your mic and share your words. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
Haribo Mataji.
It was such a wonderful class, Mataji.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for sharing all the wise words and excerpts from Srila Prabhupada's works and Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Oh yeah, they are our ideals and we seek mercy from them. And from their lives, we learn a lot, Mataji.
Yeah.
And like from yesterday's class and today's class, I have learned, keep the lotus feet of Lord Krishna in your heart all the time and continue doing the worldly activities.
Yes.
That is such a big lesson from Priya. And I pray that, oh Lord, please help me to be conscious like Priyavrat Maharaj all the time. So thank you so much, Mataji. And it was, I love the calmness in your voice when you read.
Thank you.
So it's very soothing and thank you. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Arundhati Mataji. Thank you for your kind words.
Hare Krishna, Jamuna.
Haribo Mataji.
Yeah, Haribol. Thank you very much for such a wonderful class. I really love that, the hard work. I always say that, that you pick up the articles from different places, desire tree and everything, And see, we are so busy, we don't even read all those things, but it's such a nice service you are having. So thank you very much for that. I just was the one thing that which I wanted to say, that position of Grista is so important. And we can say, oh, Gristas are just Grista. Many times, even in our movement, they will say, oh, that person is just a Grista. But if we look at that, in the Grista ashram, is actually is written that we are supposed to, like Gristas, to support or take care of brahmacharis and sannyasis, because other ashrams cannot do. Brahmachari is not earning anything. He
Yeah.
cannot look after. Sannyasi is preaching all over for the benefit of all the Gristas. So the Gristas, our job as a Gristas is to look after those brahmacharis and sannyasis. So that's one point. And on that point, I have a practical examples of my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj,
Mm.
and the number of temples he, sort of helped building them. They
Mm.
were all the contribution of Grestas. And it's amazing because I know those Grestas personally, how they offered everything for the pleasure of Guru Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj was actually doing this for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, because Srila Prabhupada said that he wanted so many temples, like in Delhi itself. He said we should have like maybe 12 or something. And now we have almost 20, 24 temples all over in, Delhi and around the things. So the thing is, there's a contribution of Gristas. And this is what Bhakti Vinod Thakur as a Grista did. And so this is very important for us. We should not consider that we are Grastas and we are not able to do anything, but we can. And we have seen Ambarish Maharaj, the grandson of Alfred, no, Alfred Ford is the
Yeah.
grandson of the Ford company. And see how much he has done for
Mm.
building our, in Mayapur,
Mm-hmm.
TOVP, Temple of Vedic Planetarium, and how much efforts and how much financial support he has given. And we can see he is a Grasta. And so these are examples are there. The same thing is there, that you can use all these resources for the benefit, as this verse, anasakya sa vishyan yata aram sab binjate nirbandha Krishna samante vairagyam uchate. So this is how we as Grastas have to do. I just give you one important thing on the present of, like, if a one member, that's the second point. If a one member of like family, like a husband and wife, and husband is not Krishna conscious, but if the wife is Krishna conscious, the way she actually acts to serve her husband, even if he is not Krishna conscious, he can serve her husband in such a way that he will realize that she's such a nice devotee. Now, practical example I had in the temple on Saturday. A lady comes all the way, I think from very far. She takes and she is not young. Must be maybe 70s or something, or 60, 70. And she takes a train and she come to the temple. And I was sitting with her, and she had some containers, and she put prasadam from her plate for her husband. And I said, why don't your husband come? She said, no, he doesn't come, but he tells me, take these containers and bring prasad for me. And I said, that's very good. And she said, he brings me up to the train station, and so I can take the train, and then I come here, and when I go home, he picks me up. I said, oh, that's a beautiful service he's doing.
Yeah.
So he is having a something which is like, some sukriti, which is is like a, what is it called? It's a word for that. So yeah, so see, he's doing that, and maybe one day, but he has already faith in this prasad and you are taking it. So the thing is that we should always think that it's nothing wrong if somebody is not, because he has to take his time. He will take time when he will say, okay, I want to come with you, or I want to drive you up to the temple. So that's a very good thing. And by hearing all these things, and we can see that anybody can become Krishna conscious, but it might take some more time for them.
Mm.
So we should never say, oh, you are not going, you are like this, like this. Give them prasad. That's good.
I,
Thank you very much.
I agree.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. When I think about my own family, certainly that's the way I shower my bhakti love on them, is with prasadam.
That's the greatest weapon we have. Srila
Correct.
Prabhupada.
Same
That's
here,
the best
Mataji.
ever
Same
weapon.
here. I do the same.
Yeah. It has got really, you can never remember. It's like a time bomb.
Yeah, that's
One
exactly
day it
right.
will work.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Are there any other
Krishna.
questions or comments? Thank you, everyone. Thank you again for listening so nicely. We'll end there. All glories to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki
Ki
jai.
jai.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki jai.
Hare
Our
Hare
great
Bol.
Jamuna Devi